Alright. So, if you are an SLP trader and you learn from Tony Ike, then you should understand this video more than anybody else. In this video, I want to be talking about market structure shift. Now, I'm not here to teach you how market structure shift works or how you to find market structure shift. No, this is for already someone who already understands the market, to understand who knows what's in the market. Now, if there's any mistake I should make in this video, please understand that this is my first time making videos like this, and I don't usually make this kind of content. I just post pictures of trade that I took, or just do a quick analysis video, and I don't speak or say anything. So this is my first video that I'm speaking, and I might slide out of context sometimes and come back in. I don't know why I do that, but it does happen sometimes. And sometimes I might record a video like 5 times before getting the right one. Oh, I'm doing it again, let me not slide off, let me continue quickly, and I don't want this video to be too long. So what I'm trying to say in this video is about market structure shift. And the market structure shift I'm talking about is when you have a market structure shift and price did not mitigate that market structure shift, and maybe even went as high as taking out the main high of the structure that you have been anticipating for. Now, majority of the time, price will still come back to that other blow, no matter how long it takes. Price will still come back to that market structure shift and still react from it. Most of the time, using either the breakout block if the other block is far from it, or using the other block if the other block is closer to the breakout block. Now, I'll show you multiple examples. Now, I've seen this with Tony Ike. Tony Ike, I usually see some of his setups sometimes, and I'll be like, this kind of trade is not. He did not explain this kind of trade to us, but sometimes there are some things you need to observe by yourself in the market and see how they react. You understand? And I usually see this market structure shift comes back to a PO and react. Now, the last time I confirmed this, I know that I've known about this, and I haven't taken it seriously like that. I just just look for my trade and continue. If I should miss a market structure shift setup, I usually just cancel my order instead of maybe observing it to see if we should be coming back next time. Now, there's a last trade that I saw. It took this thing and it was almost like 3 or 4 different setups entry. It was on BTC. Now, this is the trade here. I don't want to go too deep, but so I can explain this thing for you guys quickly. But it's not the daily. Now, these are the ranges here. I already marked them. This was a market structure shift inside of here, and the market came back to it after all these days to react. Also, this range too. There was a market structure shift there, and the market still came back to it after all that while of all those movements. Let me show you quickly. Let me show you the last one quickly, because it's clearer than any other. Come on. I don't want to waste time here. I don't want this video to be too long. If not, the size, it will be too heavy. Where is it? Okay, here it is. So here now, we can clearly see we have a market structure shift here. You can see it, right? We had a market structure shift here. We created our inducement, and then market left it, and even went as high as almost take out the range high of this range. I take out this range high. For this now, you would have feel like this is too gone. This is February 24, and then market came back and reacted at the end of the month, almost like 4 days later. This is 4 days later. It's 4 days later. Came back. Now this is 30 minutes. That's why I even think it's not even that long, because this is for 30-minute time frame. Now on like 4 hours time frame, now it will take days or even weeks before it comes back to that same PO area. Now you can see the breaker block, as I said, the breaker block and the other block that are closer. So usually to react from the breaker block, let me move to the 1 hour. It's cleaner on the 1 hour here. You can see simple. See how clean this is on the 1 hour. MSS, inducements, structure, liquidity, and PO high. Market came, tap, and move. Structure, liquidity, PO high. Market came, tap, and move. Now that's something. Also in SZD USD here, as I explained, if the other block and the breaker block are far apart, it will most likely use the breaker block, as long as there's inducement closer to the breaker block. Now here you can clearly see in this range here we had a market structure shift here. Market structure shift here, inducement, which is closer to the breaker block, and as Tony Ike said, one of the rules in picking a PO high is inducement closest to the breaker block. Now it's not always that's not always the deal, you understand. There are some times where you will have to just go for the other block, you understand. But this is not the case right here. This is not the case. In this case here, you should know that this breaker block will be the deal. market came in, tapped the breaker block here, created another market structure shift, and we are moving. So now here now is an anticipated level that I should even be observing to see another trade. Also, another trade I took using that same concept of missed market structure shifts and price came back to it is on Euro GBP. I took this trade almost a month ago and I closed it this Friday. This is the trade I had this trade for almost 1 month. Almost 1 month, and the almost I'm talking about is like just maybe 5 days or 6 days to make it 1 month. Here you can see we had a market structure shift inducement. Market did not come back to it. Now this was February 4, and then market came back and reacted to this trade on March 11. That's almost 1 month after, and then I had to close this trade now on April. I closed this trade April 8th. That was Friday. 8, 9, 10, 11. See, just 3 days. It's 3 days to make it 1 month. So that's the thing. That's what I'm just trying to explain in this video here. A missed market structure shift that has not been mitigated. Price can still come back to that POS to react instead of you to just neglect it and miss it and leave it alone and feel like it's not coming back. There's possibility and high chance that price will still come back to that market structure shift. A simple way. Like this. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now you can see we created a trend line as we are falling down. Liquidity is all there, right? Created our last high, last low. Our market came back up here, created a market structure shift with inducement, right? Now this kind of inducement, now market is supposed to react from this breaker block or the other block and move, but it did not happen. Instead we cleared the entire trend line and kept going, and maybe after a few months or a few days, if it's lower time frame, market then came back and react from that breaker block and leave. That happens. As long as that market structure has not been mitigated, there's high chance it to still play out. Now you have to add confluence additional to it. You understand? You just don't pick any type. You understand? Because if you look at this one now, you can see the structure. It's still aligned. It's structurally aligned, because here you can see in the higher time frame, you can see we already have a break of structure of this high. So for us to come back and react at this extreme, there's high chance that we will still come and take out this high again. So you can see that it's already bullish. The structure is bullish on its own, and you can see this trend line here that we haven't taken out, right? You can see this trend line here that we haven't taken out completely. So you can see everything adds up confluently that this is bullish. So you can now take the trade here. So you just don't randomly take any market structure shift, any unmitigated market structure shift randomly like that. You don't do that. You have to make sure it aligns with your structure. You understand? Which is very, very important. Structure is very, very important when you are trading in any kind of strategy. You need to add structure to it. Now the reason why I closed this trade was because it was accumulating insane swap fee. I mean, the last trade I even closed out of because I opened 2 positions. I closed one higher. I closed one at this high here, and this one I closed it here on Friday, because the profit I even closed from it, 30% was swap fee. 30% of the profit was swap fee, so I just had to close it instead of holding it. The swap fee might accumulate to the point where there will be zero profit for me, so it's not worth it. I had to just close it, and the account I'm using is a Profirm. It's not like it's a swap free Profirm. It's good funded, and they don't have swap free in their ads on, unlike Funded Next. So that's it. Let me just quickly add this GPUSD trade I took. Let me just quickly explain this. Now here we were consolidating. Market was consolidating at this range here. So we took out this low, which is a manipulation. So for me, I realized that okay, we might be coming for this range high here. So instead, I waited for us to break above this high first before I take this trade. If we fail to do that, I know that market might still dump. So I waited, and then we had this break of structure out of this high here. Market came back here, reacted, then we had this breakup, other block here. So I took the trade from this other block using this as my engineered liquidity, because the inducement of this one is too far. You can see how far it is here, and I use this as my engineered liquidity. So I then took this other block again as my re-entry, giving me 1 to 5, 1 to 6 here, and a 1 to 4 here. Oh my god, so it was it's a 1 to 10 I did on this trade, and I posted 1 to 9. It's 1 to 10, I did not even know, I swear. I did 1 to 6 here, 1 to 4 here. 1 to 10, I thought it's 1 to 5, 1 to 4, 1 to 9. Anyways, this is another range I'm anticipating price to maybe react from, maybe from the breaker block or this other block. So that's why I'm just wrapping everything. I haven't set order yet until Monday, and I'll see how it goes. And that's it. That's all I have to say on this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.